listening to the audiobook of New Social Studies, Grade 10. Unit 3, Lesson 3, Folk Musical Instruments of Nepal, page number 71. Introduction. A musical instrument that developed among the common people and usually does not have a known inventor is called a folk musical instrument. It is played in folk music. The music played during fairs, festivals, ceremony, jatras, etc. is known as folk music. Folk music is associated with particular place, race, religion and culture, etc. Folk musical instruments are played along with folk songs. Generally, folk musical instruments are made using the locally available materials. Madal, Sarangi, Jhali, Sankha, etc. are some examples of folk musical instruments of Nepal. The folk music represents the culture of a certain place and race. Folk musical instruments may differ according to the place or community. For example, Jhali is a common musical instrument of Newa community living in Kathmandu Valley and other cities of Nepal. Yalumbar is a popular folk musical instrument of Kirats of eastern Nepal. Sarangi is a typical musical instrument of Gandharva community. Similarly, Damphu is an important folk musical instrument of Tamangs. Panchay Baza is played by the Damai community during the wedding ceremony. Along with folk songs, various musical instruments are also played in different festivals, jatras, and ceremonies in Nepal. A brief introduction of folk musical instruments played in Nepal has been given below. Madal. It is one of the most popular folk musical instruments of Nepalese community. It is believed that it was first introduced by the Magar community. Later on, it gained popularity throughout the country. It is made with a hollow piece of thick log and its open sides are covered with leather and tightened with leather strings. It is carried around the waist and played by both hands. The part where khari, a black paste, is put is called maidan. A ring at the edge of both sides of madal, which is used to tighten the leather string, is called mathara. Similarly, the leather string used for carrying madal is called juine. For making a madal, a log from khamari tree is used. Sarangi. Sarangi is a traditional folk musical instrument played by Gandharva community. It is a popular string instrument made of a piece of wood, at the bottom of which a hollow is made and 4 pieces of strings are fastened tightly with 4 wooden nails fixed on the top of it. It is played by rubbing on a group of strings, specially left and right, repeatedly with a bow called gaz. Gaz is a stick which is fastened with some thin string or hair of horse tail. Sarangi is made from the wood of khira tree and its hollow part is covered with leather. Sarangi in Nepal has been used as an instrument used to convey the message and news across the country. The people of the Gandharva community play the sarangi in various folk songs. It produces a melodious tune. Flute, which is also in Nepali it's called bansuri or murali. Flute is a musical instrument played by blowing air through mouth. It is made by making holes on a small piece of hollow bamboo pipe, murali bans. It is popular throughout the country. Bansuri is played by blowing air through the mouth, but murali is played by pressing with lips and blowing air on it. Panchay Baza. Panchay Baza is a set of 5 folk musical instruments. It is played on the occasions like marriage ceremony, brata bandha, or other social, cultural, and religious programs. Panchay Baza is a traditional musical instrument prevailing in Damai community. Nowadays, the people of other community also play it professionally. The set consists of Narasimha, Jhali, Sahanai, Nagara, and Tyamko. A. Jhali Jhamta Jhurma. Jhali is also called Jhamta or Jhurma. It is made of bronze. There are two plate-shaped instruments and they are played by striking each other with both our hands. B. Narasingha. It is made of copper. It is long and curved like a half circle. It is played by blowing air through its mouth. C. Sahanai. It is made of brass. It is played by blowing air with our mouth and moving fingers on the hole made on it. D. Nagara. It is also called damaha. It is made of copper or brass. It looks like bowel and its open part is covered with leather. It is played by hitting with stick on one side. E. Tamko. It is like a nagara or damaha but small in size. It is played by hitting with two sticks from one side. Khanzadi. It is made of wood and covered with leather in one side. It is held with one hand and played with other hand when roila, balana, etc. songs are sung. It is also played during bhajan kirtan by the Hindus. A piece of wood from dar, tree and skin of golden monter lizard or barking deer are used to make a khanzadi. Pungi, also called bean. It is made of the hard cover of coconut by attaching bamboo pieces on it. This instrument is played to make snake dance in Tarai region. It is played like murali by blowing air through mouth and moving fingertips. Tunga. It is a popular musical instrument used in Himalaya region. It is made from rhododendron wood and has 4 wires like the sarangi. Its hollow part is covered with the skin of sheep. Yalumbar. It is made of bamboo, bhalubas, with 2 wires of bamboo stick. It is used by Kirat community. It is named after the name of first Kirati king Yalumbar. Iktare. It is a single string musical instrument used by the sages and ascetics. Spelling of sages Sages and spelling of ascetics Ascetics. It is made of wood, leather and string. Urni. Urni. It is made by using outer hard cover of coconut, skin and a rod. It is popular mainly in Dimal community of Eastern Tarai. It is played while worshipping the family god and while performing social and religious functions. Dhol or dholak. It is like a madal and played in the same manner. It is made of hollow cylindrical wood covered with leather. Dhangro. It is used by a witch doctor like dhami, zakri and made of wood and leather. It is hit and played by hitting with a stick. The Sherpa and the Tamang community use it during their cultural rites. Hudko. Hudko. It is like a damaru and used in province number 6 and province number 7. It is mainly used in Khaptar fair. The person who plays this instrument is called Hudke. Hudke. Binayo. It is popular among the Kirati people. It is made by making a hole in a piece of bamboo, malingo bass, and thread is connected to both ends. It is played by blowing air through mouth and pressing by fingers. Murchunga. It is made of iron and it produces the sound like binayo. It is also popular among the Kirati people. Damphu. This musical instrument looks like khanzadi and used in the Tamang community and made by covering the wood with the leather. It is held by one hand and played by the other hand. Masak. It looks like the sarangi and used in Bajang district of province number 7 of Nepal. Dafali. It is used in the western Tarai of Nepal. It is circular wooden frame with one side covered with leather. The wood from jack tree is used for it. Phasmuk. It is used in the Limbu community and made of 3 pieces of bamboo. Dangmin. Dangmin is a musical instrument prevailing in the Sherpa community. It is made of wood and 8 wires. Kakuwayan, spelling Kakuwayan, Kakuwayan. It looks like a bansuri and played in same manner. It is mainly prevailing in the Newa Japu community. It is made up of a piece of bamboo. Arbajo, spelling Aarbajo. It is a traditional musical instrument of the Gandharva community. There is a human image at the top of this instrument which is respected as the first guru. It is also considered the first and religious musical instrument. Arbajo is considered as male and Sarangi is considered as female musical instrument. Pung. It is made of the horn of an ox or buffalo. It is played by blowing air through mouth. It is popular among the Rai community. Dakrai, spelling Dakkrai. This is used in Mithila area and is made of wood joining 6 wires. Irlung Pipari. It is used in the Kusunda community and played by blowing air. Shringinad, Shringinad, Shringinad. It is made of the horn of Krishnasar, black antelope, and used by sages while going for pheri at night during the month of Kartik or Mongsir. Kahal Baza. This musical instrument is made of a copper sheet and is about 1 meter long. It is played by blowing air into it with mouth. It is played in the Gorkhali temple of Gorkha and Bhairavi temple of Nuwakot. Sankha. It is made up of large shell of conch found in sea and ocean. Spelling of conch, Conch. It is played by blowing air through mouth. It is played during puja and other religious ceremonies of the Hindus. It is also blown when dead body is taken to the ghat for cremation. Naumati Baja. Naumati Baja specifically contains 9 instruments, those that comprise the Panchay Baza with an added Damaha and Shahnai, as well as 2 Narsingha or Karnal. In popular speech, the term Panchay Baza is often used for both the 5-instrument group and the larger Naumati Baza. Our folk musical instruments are being displaced by the imported musical instruments in urban areas and are slowly being displaced in rural areas too. They are our typical musical instruments. They are our identity and add to the glory of the nation. It is our duty to preserve such folk musical instruments. In order to preserve our folk musical instruments, the following measures may be useful. Publicity of our folk musical instruments. Organizing folk musical competitions from time to time. Giving priority for the manufacturing of such musical instruments. Making the provision of incentives to those who know about it and are preserving it. Inclusion in curriculum and teaching in school and colleges practically. And using in modern music and encouraging different communities to preserve their tradition. Activities, page number 76. 1. Make a list of folk musical instruments played in your community. Find when and which communities play such instrument. Then present in the class. 2. Make a table as given below and present the folk musical instruments mentioned in the lesson. Table starts here. Played by touching on strings. Played by rubbing on string by bow. Played by blowing and moving fingers. Played by blowing but without moving fingers. Played by striking or hitting. Covered by leather and having khari. Covered by leather but not having khari. 3. Draw or collect the picture of Panchay Baza and paste on a chart paper with their name. Present that chart in the class. Exercise. Very short question answers. Very short answer questions. 1. What do you mean by folk musical instruments? Give short introduction with example. 2. In which community Damphu is played? 3. What kind of musical instrument is arbazo? 4. Name any 2 folk musical instruments played by blowing and moving fingers. Short answer questions. 1. Write a short introduction of the madal. 2. Draw a folk musical instrument of your choice and write its short introduction. 3. Panchay Baza was limited only in rural areas before, but it is gaining popularity even in urban area at the present days. What is your opinion on it? Write in 4 points. 4. Prepare an editorial on the topic, Our folk musical instruments are our identity. 5. Some of our folk musical instruments are on the verge of extinction. What should be done to preserve them? Present your idea in 4 points. 6. Suppose there are 2 programs running at the same time. One with modern pop songs and drum set, and other with folk songs and folk musical instruments. In this situation, which program do you wish to attend and why? Community work. Prepare a questionnaire to ask to the persons in your community who know how to use folk musical instrument. Ask about the present condition on the use of folk musical instrument and effort for their preservation. Include the answer and your experience. Then prepare a report. End of Unit 3, Lesson 3. This podcast is dedicated to visually impaired students. So if you know anybody who needs this book to listen and learn, please share the link and also please subscribe the channel. Thank you and all the best.